Yo, what's good YouTube? This is Dango and today you guys have a new video for you. This is gonna be the 30th video in the series, and I wanted to add something new. Basically, we're gonna be securing our WordPress website. We're gonna be hacking our WordPress website on a subdomain. Basically, we're gonna be trying to find vulnerabilities into websites. I have two websites set up. I have one that is not vulnerable, as you could see, with some plugins and some configuration set. Let me just go to the main page so I could show you the certificate and everything. So this is basically like the basic one I made, and there is also another one that I made that is basically not secure, that it does not have any certificate or anything like that. Alright, so let's get to it. Alright, let's go to this Kali Linux machine over here and let's make it full screen. Alright, let me show you what we can do with like the vulnerable website. Alright, so first off, let me just go into my history over here and get that vulnerable website and the non-vulnerable website and put them to the side. Alright, so the non-vulnerable one is on the right over here. It's gonna basically have like a yellow icon in terms of the certificate here, because it's not like actually a HTTPS. It is HTTPS, but just like the Firefox here does not show it that it's HTTPS. It's not secure. So we could remove this exception, and yeah, basically you can see it's now secure. And this is the one that's not secure, so you could differentiate between them in this. So I'm gonna put the secure one in a like a mobile view, so you could see the difference between both more easily. All right, and let's make it like this. All right, that's pretty good for now. All right, so this is the vulnerable website. So let me show you something in the beginning. All right, so if you do not close this directory in your WordPress website, you're basically just making yourself vulnerable for somebody to see your website. So let's say, for example, like I just go into your WP.includes, and then I go into like uh, what, like for example, check out something. Let's check out certificates, for example. So I could download this certificate, for example, check what this is about, and check out this JavaScript that you have over here, and basically just like manipulate, see what are the vulnerabilities in the structure of this project over here, and like everything that's rendered to the website and what's behind the scenes. You know what I mean? You could basically just see all the files over here and just play with them as much as you want. But on the this is like a file that I just got from here. Alright, let me just close that. So like basically, if you do see the files of somebody else, you could know a vulnerability for them and exploit that in their WordPress website. Alright, so on the secure website, I just have WP includes over here. So if you check that, you're gonna find out that it's empty. Why? Because I installed a plugin that secures WP includes. You could also do that with your Apache server or your like personal server or whatever, but you need to add the rules for that. And just on a subdomain right now, when I try to do it, it basically just breaks down the website. But like if you want to try that on your own on a development website, you could also do that with like adding some lines of code into your .ht access file in your Apache server. All right, so let's get out of here and let me show you just the plugin I installed on the secure website. All right, just one second. All right. let's go back to the plugins I have installed over here. So I have one, number one, that's going to be WP Hardening. This is the first plugin that you should install, and it's going to give you security fixes right away. So if you go into your WordPress hardening, you're going to find out what it does. You're going to start a new audit, and basically it's just going to give you all the recommendations you could do, like add a firewall, add some permissions to your files, which is one of the steps that we're going to do also as well. You can do it, I think, like we're going to do with an FTP server, but there is just recommending it here. So basically, this guide is just like an FTP server if you check their guide as well. It's by Astra. Uh, and we're gonna be explaining it also through like this tutorial that I checked out honestly. Alright, so this is pretty much what you should be doing to secure WP includes, and also this is gonna be securing your file editor. So you're not gonna find the file editor over here, it's gonna be disabled. If you want to enable back again, you're just gonna go into just a second. Let me just get that in the settings, recommendations. I think it was, and just give me one moment. Uh, 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 Security fixtures, yes, and then yeah, you could like turn this off, and it's gonna, if we refresh the page, the theme file editor is back again there, and you could edit the code, which is something vulnerable as well if you don't want somebody to play in your code. So you could just close that in WP hardening and then security fixers, and just disable the file editor. You can also change the login URL, but I do not recommend this if you don't know what you're doing, because it could break the server and like lock you out of access out of your. It's not gonna break the server. It's gonna be locking you out of your WordPress admin panel literally. So you're not gonna be able to log in if you do not do this correctly. And so you gotta really know what to do. Like you gotta know what you're doing. Like try this on a subdomain or something that is like a development server instead of doing this like live. Uh, And in server hardening, we're just gonna hide the directory listing that WP includes. And by the way, like all of this is already done automatically. If it's not, just do the settings that are in here. It's basically the same, but it does do it automatically. All right, so this is the first thing we're gonna do. So we just showed you the WP includes vulnerability in WordPress. Let me show you something else. All right, let's go back to W. Alright, I'm gonna show you a really simple bootloader. Uh, we're not gonna actually use like Metasploit or anything like that. We're just gonna use a really simple uh, really like anybody could sign in this website and just use this stressor or bootloader. Where is it called? The stresslab.sx. So we're gonna try to basically DDoS like both of these websites. Alright. So let's get website IP. But I think for like a subdomain, they're basically gonna have the same IP, but like for a live server, they are not gonna have the same IP. They're gonna have like a private IP. So not a private IP, but it's gonna be having like its own IP. So let me just check out this IP. Yeah, I think they're gonna have the same IP, guys. So it's not gonna work, but let me just try that. Then go over here, and if we just launch this attack, I don't think it's gonna work though, honestly. Not this one, this one. Yeah, it's not gonna work because it's just redirected to like this subdomain, if you know what I mean. So basically, it's not gonna like nothing's gonna be showing here. But let me show you what like this simple bootloader does to my like Kali Linux machine. So if I get the IP of my Kali Linux machine over here, and I just put that into this bootloader I have over here. This is the IP of the Kali machine. So this is like a like could replace this. I'm just showing you what like a simple DDoS attack can do. So basically my network is gonna be down for 30 seconds, not gonna work. So if we go like and refresh this, it's not gonna work. It's just for 30 seconds, but you get the idea. Like the website is not working right now. It's not like the internet is not slow or anything. It's just not gonna work. And like after 30 seconds, it's gonna work. Like yeah, see. So if we do that again, let's just launch the attack again. This is just a free version, if you know what I mean. But if like somebody has like actual uh, like tools to do this, like advanced tools to do this is gonna hurt your website a lot. So how can you prevent yourself from doing this, from this happening to you, like your website getting blocked like this? Like as you can see here, the network usage is like basically uh, just dropping. If you also go, I don't have htop, so we could just install that and show you the uh, like the results of the network. I'm gonna show you something just a second. Uh, or I don't think it was from here. Anyways, regardless, guys, I'm sorry, but like I showed you, like you understand the meaning right now of something like a DDoS attack. So let me just do that one last time, so you can just understand what you're dealing with. And this is just a layer 4 attack, like layer 7 attack. Can we do a layer 7 attack? Alright, let's try to do that. Uh, does that even work? Alright, so if you go on to google.com right now, it's gonna be down, like we're not gonna be able to go to anything. So anyways, to protect yourself from something like this, you need to read this article about DDoS mitigation by CloudFlare. And what is DDoS and what is DDoS mitigation. And it basically is the process of successfully protecting a targeted server or a network from a distributed denial of service attack, or a distributed or like a DOS bot attack also. So that this is the DDoS mitigation. You have like routing, detection, response, and adapt. So basically, it's just explaining you the technique that you're supposed to use to uh, like mitigate the DDoS attack. So you could use Cloudflare in WordPress by just installing Cloudflare and setting. Just let me get to the plugins and show you that. Here is Cloudflare, and just go then to your settings, and then as you can see, drop that on the bottom of the drop down menu here in the settings. You could just go to Cloudflare and then create a free account and sign it up, and just go with the steps that's in like their tutorials. I don't want to explain this on a subdomain because it does not work on a subdomain. I tried setting it up on a subdomain, so don't waste your time by doing that. It does not work as of now, like as of 2022 and like July 11th. It does not work for subdomains, but it works for live servers, alright? Alright, so also something you could add is something called a web application firewall, which is also another way to handle DDoS or DOS attacks. So as you can see, we have over here like a web application firewall. It's made by Orange, and both of those are for free. Like both of those plugins are for free, so you could download both of those plugins for free. You got also WP Security Pro, but right now all you really need to install is the web application firewall. WP Security Pro is also by Mini Orange, but it has more advanced features like advanced blocking and login and spam and all that. If you want to also uh, add this, like brute force protection for your login. If somebody tries to log in like for more than 10 times on your WordPress website, you could basically just block him from entering your website. Alright, so that is for the third plugin. We have one last thing to show you guys. Alright, let me just go on to my hosting website over here. This is Infinity Free. So if we go on to their panel over here, you could check out that there's something called an FTP username and an FTP password. So basically in the FTP, what you could do is there's something called FileZilla. Like it's just a file, like an FTP manager that you could connect to FTP servers with. So you could just download that from FileZilla.org, I think, or something like that. Let me just check that out. FileZillaProject.org, yes. So it's available for Linux, and you can also download their like the server. Like it's basically a server that you connect to FTP, other FTP servers. So let me just close all of this, and we're gonna connect right now to the vulnerable website with the FTP, and we're gonna change permissions of the server right now we have on it just by the FTP, just by something called FileZilla or like an FTP server. So if I have access to this like page for like a second, like somehow I do have like access to this page for somehow. So if I just go into like the username, copy this, and then this, and then add the password over here. So if I just click connect, right now you're gonna find on the remote site here on the right all the files from this WordPress website that's vulnerable basically. Uh, we have htdocs, we have the WP admin. We could change permissions, like if we go to file attributes right now, we could change the permissions to like public permissions and group permissions, like everybody like to just do whatever they want if they want to. So we're not gonna do that right now, but we could basically like I said, just do whatever permissions we want to if we do have access to these credentials some way or another. So you could also secure your WordPress files by doing this on your FTP. So that is an option, and to do that, you have to understand also the FTP. No, I'm sorry, not the FTP. Like file or folder permissions on like a server in WordPress. So if you go on to this Astra over here, blog post that's made by Ananda Krishna, I don't know the name honestly, but there is like this beautiful picture over here that just explains the WordPress file permissions. It just shows that the all folders like 755 is the permissions, and all PHP files is like 644, and like for special files, configuration files is like 440. And why it's called like this, they also explain why in this like example over here. You have read, write, and execute for basically like the five permissions that is in a server, and you got also the R over here, which is rest of the world, is also to the rate value of 4. You got three rate values, which is read, write, and execute. So read is at 4 and write is at 2 and execute is at 1. That's for the rate values. So they had this example that they mentioned over here in Get Astra, like I said, by Krishna. Uh, so they had like a this section and this section and this section. So if we calculate them, you're gonna find that it's gonna amount to 754, and that is the basically the permissions that we want to give to that file or that directory. So read, write, and execute amounts to 4 plus 2 plus 1, which amounts to 7. And we got the execute and write permissions. Uh, that is gonna be 4, 4 and 1, 4 and 1. and that is going to be equal to 5. And we got rest of the world that is going to be equal to 4. So that is why it's equal to 754. And they also mentioned some file permissions that are over here that you should give to your WordPress files. You can also check out the article. I'm going to put that in the link in the description. But for now, guys, that is all. That's pretty much it. And also for you to just change these permissions, I don't want to make this video any more longer. It's already 20 minutes in the video. I was gonna make a whole hour video on it, but I just wanted to show you just some simple steps on how to secure your website. And you don't even have to like use a Linux machine, but I'm just showing you that like on another like virtual machine or whatever, like the extent of just like simple vulnerabilities could do. But you could also use like MSF Venom and like stuff like that to just like deploy DOS bots, and that's pretty much it. So I'm not gonna waste your time, and all right, so that's pretty much it. So these were the steps basically right now to minimize the risks in the website. You're gonna add WordPress hardening just to secure your WordPress includes, or do the coding on your own on the HT access. If you have an Apache server on your website live, again, do that. Try to do this steps that we did today in a development server. Number two, install the web application firewall. Number three, add FreeDDOS DDoS mitigation by CloudFlare. Just follow the steps that they have on the website. It's also gonna be mentioned over here. Uh, Also add SSL and TLS certificate, which is basically HTTPS, which is Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. And this is transport layer security. And finally, in number five, we're just gonna set the right file permissions to avoid hackers playing with these. All right, so that's pretty much it. All right, comment, like, and subscribe, you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. This was NGO EDU, and peace.